We promised you a bit of the audio from Sunday. This is Congressman Eric Massa, soon to be ex-Congressman Eric Massa, with a colorful story.
And I'm sitting there showering, naked as a jaybird, and here comes Rahm Emanuel, not even with a towel wrapped around his tush, poking his finger in my chest, yelling at me because I wasn't going to vote for the president's budget. Do you know how awkward it is to have a political argument with a naked man? It's ridiculous.
I do not know how awkward it is to have a political argument with a naked man. Rahm's tush getting some airtime there. Ron Bonjean joins us now, Republican strategist. And I want to ask you first, Ron, you were at the front lines in 2006 working for Speaker Hastert in Republican leadership. Are you getting flashbacks these days?
Yeah, this has 2006 news cycle written all over it. You know, to me, it's like watching the Democrats get a root canal. And for me, it's like remembering my own dental surgery. It's like, ooh, wow, that hurts. That's gotta really hurt.
Does the 2006 comparison totally hold up? I mean, you were there. Democrats will say it's not quite the same for two reasons. One, they sort of put in this ethics place. They got Charlie Rangel to give up the gavel. Massa's leaving Congress now. It's not lingering the way that Foley lingered, and the way that the Abramoff scandal sort of was, permeated through the ranks of the conference.
I think one of the differences is that, with our situation with Mark Foley, it was 30 days out as opposed to 6 months out. However, one of the biggest similarities is they're trying to get a legislative agenda through, namely health care. And these type of ethics issues blow up the news cycle, take attention away, drain the Democrats of their morale, and force them to focus on this issue and try to solve it quickly and get the oxygen out of the room.
Ron, I want to ask particularly about the Eric Massa affair. We put the question out to our Twitter followers, whether these weird rants that Massa is on is going to actually hurt Democrats in the push for health care reform. Is it going to hurt in the efforts to get 216? One response we got from VRWC Texan, scapegoating and creating straw boogeyman and campaigning should not be mistaken for leadership. I guess the question does get raised. Is this likely to have any impact on the quest for votes right now? Is this just a sideshow?
I think it's just a sideshow for right now, unless there's some new development that drops that extends the news cycle. But what it's doing is allowing the cable news shows to, eat up time with this, to take valuable messaging time away from the president. The president yesterday was campaigning against insurance companies. I don't think many people really realize that. We're watching more of the crazy Massa comments.
and Democrats on Capitol Hill were really excited about the president yesterday. They thought he was getting the message right for the first time in a long time. And you're right, that does get clouded over. But might, because of how tricky it is for them to get to 216, that if the cables are consumed with something else, that behind the scenes and in these closed doors, that House Dems can actually get their work done?
I don't think so, because we're just talking a day or two. Frankly, there are so many moving parts to this bill. It's so comprehensive. You just heard Congressman Kucinich talk about the health insurance company bailout. That's starting to be reported. I know ABC News reported it yesterday, $300 to $400 billion in tax credits going to health insurance companies, something that President Obama disagreed with when he was on the campaign trail, yet that's in the bill, and he's at the same time attacking insurance companies. It doesn't make much sense, and I think it's something that's going to emerge for the liberals in this caucus.
Ron, having gone through the fires of this a couple of years ago, what advice would you offer Democrats for how to get this kind of in their rearview mirror? How do you contain the damage for the ethics controversies, whether it's Massa, whether it's Rangel, and move beyond that?
Well, first of all, I would say every time they talk about health care, every time they're not talking about jobs, they might as well call in sick. Because the American people want, they want jobs, they want more money on their table, and the Democrats aren't talking about those issues. They're talking about something completely different. They could be talking about putting a man on the moon right now. It doesn't matter to Americans.
There does seem to be total confidence on each side in their argument over health care. I mean, Republicans are just as sure that they can run against this bill when it passes as Democrats are sure that they can run on it. I don't recall many political fights like that where both sides just don't see it the same way.
Well, and Republicans are more based in fact. I mean, they're aligned with the polling. They're aligned with what the American people are thinking, namely independents who want jobs in the economy to be solved, and they don't want this massive health care bill. Democrats keep believing that if we just explain the bill more, we explain it differently, somehow their fortunes will turn around. It's interesting, President Obama said the same thing against health insurance companies back in July. It's just the same thing, different day.
All right, Ron Bonjean, Republican strategist. We appreciate it, and good luck getting through this time. And memories of root canals are never pleasant for anyone.
Thanks a lot, Ron. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again tomorrow.
Twitter.com/TheNote. Keep the conversation going. Yeah, lobbying in the shower.